Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on content edit. My name is Jessica, and I'll be taking the webinar this morning. I'm the Customer Training Manager here at Fixflo. It's so great to see so many of you on here this morning. Thank you again for joining me. And just to let you know, we are recording today's webinar, and I will send you all the recording by the end of play today. It will take us around 45 minutes to an hour to get through everything. It does depend on questions. And before we get started, I just want to go through an agenda with you so that you understand what is coming up in today's webinar. So first of all, I'm going to be giving you an explanation of your guidance and advice pop-ups, which is kind of the main focus of today's webinar, so that you understand exactly what these are. Then I'm going to be going through the benefits of editing these. So the benefits of what they can do and why it's good to edit them. I'm then going to be jumping on to the Fixflo site where I'll be showing you how you can edit the emails which go out via Fixflo. You can both view and edit these if you wish. Then I will be showing you how to edit the guidance and advice pop-ups, how to add and remove panels from your fault tree. I'll be showing you how you can create whole new guidance and advice pop-ups where we haven't. And I'm going to be showing you a fantastic report, which is called Jobs Resolved Before Being Submitted. We also have a brand new feature, which is kind of within the whole kind of content edit section, which is you can now add instruction note templates. So I'm going to be showing you this feature so that you can start using that to better improve the way you use Fixflo. At the end of the webinar, as always, there'll be a live Q&A, so please do get your questions over to me. It's great to see so many people engaging and having questions, so please get them over to me. Do not be shy. To ask questions, simply click on the Q&A button, and I will happily answer them at the end just to keep us on track throughout the webinar. Before we get started, I'm just going to release a quick poll. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go through is an explanation of these guidance and advice pop-ups. What are they? So these are actually displayed on the occupier side of Fixflo. So when an occupier goes to report maintenance issues, they can see these guidance and advice pop-ups depending on which icon they choose and which fault they've selected. These are fully customizable, so you can add some where we haven't. You can change the ones that we've added for you. And I'm going to show you, obviously, in today's webinar, how you can customize these. These guidance and advice pop-ups, they help with two things. First of all, they show occupiers their own responsibilities. So examples of this could be things such as mold or mildew, which they're trying to report, an issue with light bulbs in light fittings, or perhaps that there's an issue where batteries have gone out now and smoke alarms. These are occupier responsibilities and they shouldn't be reporting the issues through to you. So you can imagine with these guidance and advice pop-ups, if an occupier is trying to report, say, batteries and smoke alarms, you can have a pop-up saying to them, this is actually something you should be dealing with as per your tenancy. Please go and buy some new batteries and replace these yourselves. That means the issues will be filtered out, saving you and your team time. As well as occupier responsibilities, these guidance and advice pop-ups can be fantastic for first-time fixes. So I'm talking about things such as boiler issues here. It's really common where people report issues about their boiler, but actually it's something that occupiers can fix at home themselves. It could simply be they need to turn up the pressure or that they need to perhaps top up the meter. Anything like that. And actually, you don't need to be made aware of this. Occupiers can resolve the issue at home if safe and convenient to do so. And you can, in fact, save the landlord money, etc. So guidance and advice pop-ups are really, really fantastic for your system. So getting them right and making sure you're happy with them is so, so important. Here's just an example of one for mildew. So this is showing a templated pop-up that we've set up for you. You can see there's a picture on there as well. So you can, because they're customizable, you can add pictures, videos, GIFs, anything you like. And you can add obviously more and more information on here as well. The benefits, so I have kind of gone over some of these already, but the benefits are they help to filter out maintenance issues. So those examples of issues that shouldn't come through to you, so occupier responsibilities, and also maintenance issues which actually can be fixed really easily at home. This in turn can save you and your team time. So you're only dealing with the issues that really need your time and attention. Also, if it's saving you and your team time, of course, it's saving the contractor time because you're not sending a maintenance issue off to a contractor who doesn't actually need to be there. You're only going to be sending them jobs which really need their assistance. Here you can also save the landlord money. So this can be incredibly helpful because obviously you want to make sure that your landlords are happy with your service. And if maintenance issues, which actually should be dealt with at home by the occupier, are being fixed by contractors and landlords are paying for that, they're not going to be too pleased. And you're keeping the occupiers happy. The issue's fixed at home where they are, and they're not then waiting on you or on a contractor to come out and resolve the issue. So it's a win-win situation. So there's lots and lots of benefits to this, and it's really important that we get this right. So I guess, first of all, we're going to go through kind of how you can make edits, but I'm going to start with the emails via Fixflo because it's all kind of under the same umbrella, if you like. I'm just going to stop that poll. I just want to say a big thank you to absolutely everybody who provided feedback there. It's really appreciated. Okay, so just to let you know, I am on a lettings site this morning, and also I am on the Fixflo professional system. I understand that some Fixflo basic clients might be here, but you can still edit your guidance and advice pop-ups, whether you're on Fixflo basic, Fixflo essential, or Fixflo professional. The layout might look slightly different if you are on Fixflo basic though. In order to make edits and make changes to your guidance and advice pop-ups, you are going to need to have administrator rights because you're going to use your left-hand menu sidebar just here and scroll down where it's got this section here called Setup. If I click on Setup here, you'll want to scroll down now, and we're going to be focusing mainly today on the content edit section within Setup. If you do not have administrator rights, you can always speak to a member of the team to see if they can provide these rights to you, or just feedback and let them know everything you've learned today. So if I click here on content edit, that will then take me through to 3 tabs. This templates tab is completely new, and I'm going to be going through that towards the end of today's webinar. So we've got 3 tabs here. We've got content, fault tree pop-ups, and also templates. We're going to be focusing first of all on the content section, and this is where you can make amendments to the emails which are sent out of Fixflo. You cannot amend every single email, but you can amend some of them. So if I scroll down here, you can see that when it starts here with email, then obviously these are the emails that you can amend. And you can amend things such as the welcome emails that go out to contractors, landlords, and occupiers. And you can also amend, for example, the new issue report email that goes out to both agents and also occupiers. So you can make amendments here. When making amendments, so say, for example, I click into email welcome landlord, just as an example, I can make the amendment here. So it's just like a Word document. I can simply click in, I can start typing here. And if I want to make any changes, of course, I know it sounds really obvious, but it's easy to just make a change and then click back into something else. You must press save in order for this to save. You can preview this so that you can, for example, click into the links that we've got linked out. And obviously, it's important that you're happy with these emails that go out to, for example, your landlords. They're your clients. You want to make sure they're happy. To your contractors so that you can help them get better onboarded with Fixflo. We've got lots and lots of information and link outs, particularly on the contractor welcome email. So do check those out. We've got like an introduction video, and the contractors have their own help site, which we link out on there. So that can be really helpful for you guys to know as well. Okay, perfect. So I hope that makes sense regarding the emails and how you can make changes and edits to those, and also preview them and see the links. Something else you can do here within the content section is at the very, very top of this page, you've got agent telephone numbers. Now, this is a really common question that comes up, and it's also a common kind of frustration, if you like, that occupiers have as well. How do I change my emergency contact numbers? So that's a common question by agents, and the frustration on the occupier side is I couldn't find an emergency contact number. It is an emergency, and I've had to go through Fixflo. So you can easily change your telephone numbers by clicking here again within the content tab. It's agent telephone numbers. If I click here, you can see here I've got my office and my out of hours. Now, these are going to be your kind of generic ones that you want to use for kind of your general out of hours number, I suppose, and also your office number. If you have something more specific, so for example, it's an out of hours number, particularly for boiler issues or for no power issues, then you're going to want to put that on the specific pop-up rather than the generic kind of telephone numbers. So once you've added your numbers here and you're happy, obviously you can press save. You can then hit back, and I'm going to show you how you're going to add those numbers to a specific pop-up when we get to that section. Another thing I just want to mention here is that scrolling down, there is a welcome message right at the bottom of this particular tab, the content tab, called text issue welcome. Now, this is a welcome message that sits on kind of the top of the occupier side, and it can say, for example, welcome to our repair reporting system. You can tell them about your office hours here. You can ask them, if possible, please do upload a photo, be as descriptive as possible. All of these things that you might want to include in the welcome message can be added here. So this is completely editable. So just make sure, obviously, you're happy with your welcome message, and you can press save. If it's about, I don't know, Christmas or Easter, you can also add like emojis here as well to make it slightly more fun. So depending on how you want to kind of come across, you could, for example, make it slightly more bouncy and more bubbly if you wanted to. Okay, perfect. So that's kind of how you make amendments to the emails, the phone numbers, and also the welcome message. There are a few other things that you can edit here as well, so do feel free to have a look through. And of course, get in touch on the Q&A button, and I will answer those questions at the end as well. Next, what we're going to do is jump onto fault tree pop-ups, as this is where you actually amend the pop-ups, and I'm going to go into more detail about the telephone numbers in here as well. So if I click on fault tree pop-ups, these are showing you all of your existing pop-ups which are available on the occupier side. So you can see they all start here with message to occupier, and then it has kind of what it's about. So you can, for example, I'm going to click into this one here, the boiler one. Once you are in a pop-up, just the same as before, you can obviously click in and, start typing. Here, you can make these amendments. And once again, I know it's obvious again, but do remember to press save if you're happy. You can also obviously preview this. So here we've added kind of a GIF for them as well. Now, what you can do is on the right-hand side of this pop-up, you can see the usages. So these are all of the kind of fault tree options that occupiers would go down to see this message. So everything starts obviously at property home. If they were to select hot water, water heated by electricity, no hot water, and I have electricity, they will see this pop up. Also, if they go down hot water, water heated by gas, no hot water, standard boiler, they will see this pop up. You can see all of the usages here, and you can obviously, this has its own little scroll bar, sorry. So you can kind of scroll through to see the usages, and you can add this pop-up to more fault tree options as well. And again, I will show you that later on in the webinar. That's not available just here. So this is showing the current usages, and just underneath usages, you will notice there's a section called tokens. Now, this is where you could, for example, add a token, for example, the URL of your Fixflo site, just like lots of companies do, you can add tokens to then pull through information into these pop-ups. If I scroll down, we can see office hours is at the bottom here. And if I had updated the agency numbers, as I showed you a few moments ago, I could then use this office hours token in any of my pop-ups. Remember, I would literally just copy this. Obviously, I've got numbers here, so this isn't the best. Oops, sorry. This isn't the best example, but I would put office hours and then press save, and those numbers would then pull through. So the reason I said to you just to make it really generic is because obviously that's the office hours token. So you want this to be your kind of main out of hours and office hours numbers. Anything which is related to a specific fault, you will then have to add manually, because otherwise you're adding specific faults to maybe the incorrect pop-ups. So that is how you add your numbers, and adding numbers on these pop-ups can make a real difference, not just to you, but also to your occupiers as well, and gives them the better experience. So I hope that makes sense in terms of how you can make edits. One last thing I want to show you on here is how do you add videos? Now, adding videos can be really, really helpful, because then when an occupier is on the pop-up, you can embed a video in, so they don't even have to click into a link. So all they need to do is click play, and the video will display for them when they're on Fixflo. This can be fantastic for things like repressurizing boilers. So if I was to upload a video, it depends how you really want to do this. So some companies may have like their own videos that they've created, which can look really, really smart. If you do create your own videos, you are going to need to host them somewhere. So you'll need to have your own YouTube channel or Vimeo account, where you can then host them on, for example, YouTube. And you will then take the source code and embed them onto this link or onto this pop-up. If you are using somebody else's from YouTube, so I'm going to take an example here. This is a YouTube video that I found, and I want to embed it onto my pop-up about my boiler, because I don't have my own video in this example. Now, one thing to point out, if you are using somebody else's video that they are hosting on YouTube, please do remember that there is a chance they will take this down and then the video will not display on your pop-up. So that's just something to bear in mind. It's not your video. Somebody else could remove it, and then it obviously won't play. To embed a video straight onto your guidance and advice pop-up, all you need to do is come to a video, like I've got my example here. You will want to click here on share. Okay, so this is what you'll want to do. Click on share. From here, you'll want to click on embed, because you want to take that video and have it actually embedded onto the pop-up. If I click on embed, I've then got here this kind of embed coding, if you like, and I can simply click copy. Once I've pressed copy, I would then go back to my Fixflo site. This also works really well if you have two screens, but you can do it with just one as well, like I'm doing it. I would then click here on source code. Now, it does look a bit techie, but I promise it's easier than you would think. With this example, I'm just going to add mine at the bottom. So I literally just paste that in and press OK. And now this video is now embedded onto this. So when an occupier then goes down one of the usages which sit here, they will be able to watch this video from within the pop-up itself. So it's really, really easy to do. We do have guidance on how you can do this, and we even have a guide here on our help site on videos you can use in your guidance and advice pop-ups. So these might be something that you want to check out. We've got ones on washing machine filters, how to bleed a radiator, testing smoke alarms, etc. And these can be really, really valuable to help filter out those issues that shouldn't be coming through to you, and just aiding occupiers with what they can do in these scenarios. So do check that out. Again, there's guidance on how to embed that. You will also have a recording of this webinar if you want to re-watch how I did that. Once you've done it once, I promise you can do it again, and you can always obviously re-watch this section if you want to as well. Okay, perfect. I hope that has been helpful with that. What I'm now going to do is show you how you can add and remove icons on the occupier side to perhaps make your system slightly more simple if needs be. So again, you will need administrator rights. We're staying in setup, but we're going to move now down to fault tree edit. Within fault tree edit here, if you have got multiple brands, you'll first of all select your brand. And then underneath here, you've got your fault categories. So they all sit here on the right-hand side, and it almost looks like a mini version of the occupier side for us. What you can do is if there's, say, for example, a category that you do not want your occupiers to see, such as, say, swimming pools, I can click here on swimming pool, and I can click here on hide category icon. If I've got no swimming pools at any of the properties I fully manage, why keep it? You want to make sure that the system is kind of a slightly more simple and occupiers are really easily able to use Fixflo. Of course, if there's no swimming pools, no one's going to report an issue there. So it's not a big deal, but it might just be worth hiding that so that it's hidden and the system just looks slightly simpler. Going into more detail here, say I did have swimming pools, I could keep that category, but say I didn't have any spas, I could then keep swimming pool, keep all of these, but I could remove spa by clicking on spa and then clicking here on hide category icon. So I've got the swimming pool and all of the other kind of subcategories, if you like, but I've removed spas because I don't have them. So of course, you can get really granular here and remove things you don't want to have by hiding fault category icons. So it's worth making sure your system is exactly as you want it, so you can go and remove category icons. And of course, if I do hide this category icon as an example, and then go back, I can always re-add that at any time. If, for example, I start managing more luxurious properties and suddenly they do include swimming pools, brilliant. I can then go and show that category icon so that people can start reporting issues about their swimming pools. Further to this, you can also add guidance and advice pop-ups where we haven't, and that is all done here within fault tree edit. So say, for example, you wanted to add fault tree about mice and rats as an example. We don't have that as a default, but you might want to say something along the lines of, if you do see a mouse or a rat, please make sure that you are emptying bins on a regular basis, that you're cleaning the kitchen every night, you're not leaving food out. And obviously, if you see one, please, I don't know, if you want to put out rat poison or mouse traps or anything like that, just so that the issue can maybe be dealt with at home before it comes through to you. It might be something that the occupier can deal with themselves. So in order to add that guidance and advice, I would click here on pests and vermin. I would then choose, for example, here, rodents, and I may click here on mice. You can see here, it will show me the current pop-up. So this is the pop-up that's shown for the fault. So if somebody does report mice, currently it doesn't have a pop-up at all, doesn't have any guidance and advice for that occupier, it will show nothing. I can now copy a panel over. So as I mentioned to you before, when you could see the usages on the boiler panel, or the boiler pop-up, sorry, which I showed you, if you wanted to add that pop-up for more usages, you do so within this fault tree edit, where you copy that over to another fault tree or another fault, or you can add a whole new one here as well. So I may want to add one here. I might want to call it, you know, mice/rats, and then I would want to copy it over from mice to rats once it's created. So there's just some ideas of what you might want to do about mice or rats, and obviously making sure that your fault tree pop-ups are the best they can be to help filter out these issues, the better. The only other thing I want to show you here within fault tree pop-ups before I go through to the report that I want to show you is this category, other. Now, this is a category that occupiers can find if they cannot find their fault within all the faults that you just saw there on the right-hand side. So within other, this is a category that cannot be hidden, but something people sometimes struggle with. And I know you guys did report on this, so let's have a look. Do you find that many of your occupiers report maintenance issues using other? 27% of you said yes. If this is something that you think, gosh, that's quite annoying, I'd rather people actually find the correct category rather than go through other. What you can do, so you can't hide this, but you could always click on other here, And you could add a category icon or a fault tree pop-up to say, please make sure that this is a last resort, and you have kind of gone through all of the category options before you report a maintenance issue here on other. So it's something you could maybe want to do if you do find the 27% of you that said, yes, this is an issue. If it's an issue for you, of course, you can add a pop-up here. That might be something that you find really helpful. Another thing we also have, just to let you know on the occupier side, there is actually a search bar available. So they don't need to click through the icons necessarily and drill down that way. They can actually, there's a search icon towards the top right-hand corner. They can use that as well. That's something you may want to add into this panel, into this pop-up as well. Perfect. I hope you guys feel confident now with guidance and advice pop-ups, what they are, the benefits of them, and how you can amend and add them. Any questions, again, please get it through in the Q&A. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a report that you can look at to see how many of your jobs are actually resolved before they're submitted. And then we'll go through the new feature instruction templates. Okay, so everybody has got access to reports here. This is not just administrators, users only. Everyone can access reports on their left-hand menu sidebar. And we've got a number of reports available. They do span over 2 pages, so don't be fooled. There are more reports available here. And of course, there's this search bar at the top. The report that I want to show you this morning is this report here called Issues Resolved Before Submitting. Now, if I click into this report here and scroll down, I am going to I'm going to focus on this date here. So the 23rd of April, earlier this year. So you can, of course, choose your date range at the top here. And you can customize that as well by clicking on custom if you're looking for something more specific. And here you've got all of the dates. And I'm just going to go through this report with you to show you what it's showing. And this will essentially show you how effective your guidance and advice pop-ups are. So say, for example, after this webinar, you think, gosh, we need to make some changes. You can then compare and contrast before this webinar to after this webinar, once the changes have been made, to see if actually the changes that you put in place are going to be effective and help your occupiers resolve issues. So we've got the 23rd of April here, and we can see here that 3 issues were started that day. Out of those 3 issues which were started, we can see that all of them were submitted. So 100% unfortunately got submitted on that day. We can see the system advice shown here. So 2 of the reports, people that went to report maintenance issues, 2 of them were actually shown guidance and advice pop-ups. So that's 2/3. That's not bad. None of them, however, in this case, were resolved by the in-system advice. So maybe it's that they wouldn't have been anyway. I mean, it's really hard to say, I guess, but maybe actually it's that my guidance and advice pop-ups need to be slightly better. Maybe I need a bit more videos. Maybe I need a few more. Occupier presence warning shown. Now, this one is when occupiers go to report maintenance issues, they can say whether or not they'd like to be present when the works are carried out. If they say here that they would like to be present when the works are carried out, then this will show here as occupier presence warning shown. They will get a pop-up to say, if you are not there when you say you will be, there may be a missed call out charge. And that pop-up can actually also be changed within the content edit section and the content tab. If you would like to be shown that, please ask in the Q&A, but that can be amended. But none of them were shown the occupier warning shown. None of them said they wanted to be there when the works were carried out. And actually, when they are shown that pop-up, we do have statistics to say that 20% of them actually do change their mind and say in that case, they'd rather not be there. I think sometimes they don't want the responsibility. Unfinished issue submissions will show here as well, and then you get the ratio. So this can be a really good report to find out how good your guidance and advice pop-ups are being and whether or not occupiers would like to be present when the works are carried out and if they change their mind as well. And it will show you overall how many issues were then unfinished. So I hope that's helpful and I hope it's something you will use. One more thing you can do within not just this report, but any report, you can click on more options and you can actually get this report sent out to yourself on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, using this drop down here. You can say what time you would like it to come to, which email addresses. So you can get reports sent out to yourself as often as you like, in order to kind of keep yourselves in the loop more. And remember, there's lots and lots of reports to go through. So have a look through these. Some of these can be really, really helpful in terms of helping you just to keep track of things slightly better and look more closely at metrics. Perfect. So the final thing I want to show you is our brand new feature. A lot of you weren't aware of this. I think only a couple of you, only a handful of you were aware we have a new feature. But what you can now do is you can add instruction note templates. Now, this is something I believe the development team are going to be building on. So really excited about this. But for the moment, what it means is you can add templates for when you are instructing works to contractors using the instruct works workflow, and you can pull up a template for these instruction notes. So let's have a look, first of all, at how you can add instruction notes. Again, you will need administrator rights for this because we're going back into setup now and we're clicking here on content edit. This is also only available for Fixflo Essential and Fixflo Professional, as Fixflo Basic does not have workflows. But if it's something you think actually Fixflo Professional or Fixflo Essential where you can use workflows would be useful to you, please do get in touch with us, support@fixflo.com. You can also contact us through this need help widget, which I will point out at the end. So here within templates, I've already got an example here. So again, this is for your instruction notes templates currently. They are going to be building on this in the future. I don't have timescales or quite what it will be, but it is exciting to see that templates will be able to be added here. So instruction note templates, when might you want this? So this could be things such as COVID. You might want to send instruction notes to contractors, and rather than typing it out on each and every job, you might just want to be able to choose from a template to say, please check in with the occupier. You've got their number. You can message them within the comments section as well to ask maybe COVID questions. Unfortunately, that's not quite in the system after the occupiers reported the issue. It could be about just reminding them on the urgency of the issue as well, or perhaps talking about like works authorization limits to say, if you're at the premises and the works authorization limit is too low, give us a call. We can perhaps, sort that out over the phone. Anything like that, any template which you might want for instruction notes can be added here. To add a template, really simple. You click here on add template. You provide it with a name. We'll just give that one COVID-19, and then you can add information here. Perfect. That's it. You press save, go back, and now my two templates sit here. To remove a template, you simply click into it and then click the delete button. Just to show you this and how it would be used is you click here on dashboard. I'm just going to click into an issue when I reported earlier this morning called boiler not working. And like I say, this is for instruction notes currently at the moment, and it is used for when you use the instruct works workflow. If I want to instruct this off to a contractor, if I have added instruction notes template, then this will show. If I have not added a template, this will not display here, and this field will not appear on this pop-up. I can then click here on this drop down, and I can choose either my example template or my COVID-19 one. If I go with the one I've just added, COVID-19, it will add here an instruction notes, and I can still edit this on a per issue basis. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not sure what I was writing there. There we go. So just start typing. So just add more, just edit it if you want to. But this is a great way if every single time you're sending a really similar or the same note to the same contractors, you may just want to do that. Just one final thing to point out on instruction note templates as well, or instruction notes. We've made them clearer now to contractors, and they actually will appear on the email when they are awarded a job. Okay, perfect. I think that is absolutely everything. The final thing I just want to mention here is there is a little need help widget just down here. Here you can, for example, search through our articles and also our videos. We have a really wide variety of articles and videos, so you can go through and get your questions answered here. And obviously, if, for example, a guide or a video can't answer your question, we understand that won't always be the case. It might be something slightly more specific. Then you can always contact us here. Reach out to us. This is the very best way. Reason being is you're prompted for things like the IS number. You can also take screenshots and upload files as well. So please use this widget. It's fantastic in terms of searching for help as well. We do want you to feel supported when you're here with us at Fixflo. So yeah, I'm going to go through some questions. The final thing I just want to do is release a very quick poll. And in this poll, there are 5 very quick questions. I just want to get some kind of feedback from you in terms of how you found today's webinar. Please do be honest. We're always trying to make improvements here. And these featured webinars are now running twice a month. The out of 10 questions, 10 is high, 1 is low on both of those. And also, it'd just be great to know, like, going forward, do you think you'll be making changes to your guidance and advice pop-ups? And also, will you be creating the instruction notes templates as well? Do you think that's something that you'll benefit from? If anyone as well would like to get involved in a case study with us, we do have case studies on our website. To do with kind of guidance and advice pop-ups and how they've helped you, anything to do with today's webinar, please can you let me know and I'll ask my colleague to reach out to you. We will be happy to then kind of support you slightly more in anything that you need help with. And in turn, we would ask kind of for a case study we can put on our website to help entice more clients as well, where you can kind of give your good word. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. You can even do so on the Q&A and then I know who to kind of reach out to. That would be really, really great. I'd really appreciate it as well. And obviously anything we can do to help you would be, we'd do as well. I'm now going to go through the questions. The poll is still open. If you're leaving us now, thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's been a real pleasure going over the system with you. I do hope it's been helpful and that you have learned something today. Okay, I'm going to go through these questions now. So the first one is from Tony. Could you please tell us how we raise a job as an agent following an inspection or an exit inspection, please? Okay, yes, so you can raise jobs on behalf of occupiers, and we also do integrate with inspection apps as well. So that might be something you want to check out. If you are interested in inspection apps, you can click here on our website. You can go to partners. And from partners, you can go to, and I then will show you how to report. So bear with just a moment. And then you can go here to app integration. So we integrate with like Inventory Hive, Inventory Base, etc. So that when an issue goes through on one of these options here, it will go straight through to Fixflo. So that might be something you're interested in. To do this on Fixflo, you'd use your left-hand menu sidebar and you literally click here on Create Issue. If it's following an inspection, you can click here to Create on behalf of, where you would actually do this on behalf of the occupier themselves, so they are attached. Or you could do it without a reporting occupier as well. So that'd be for maybe a vacant property, or if you didn't want the occupier to know about this. If I was to do this without a reporting occupier, you can see it will take me through to the occupier side of the system, but I am still very much logged in. You're logged in here on your left-hand menu sidebar. You would simply then go through and report the issue so that the issue is there on Fixflo, but do remember we have those partners as well. I hope that helps, Tony. Please let me know if anything there wasn't covered. Christian, so is it possible to add another issue on the main screen? I can see one for property visits. Are we able to create one for checkouts? I see. So you want to create another icon. If unfortunately you can't just kind of create these, but if you let us know what it is that you would like and why, if you literally, Christian, just get in touch with us through here, need help, and click on contact us. We'd like to know what problem it is you're trying to solve. We can then get that over to the development team. I cannot promise that absolutely every single thing will come to life on Fixflo, but I'll always do my best for you. So please reach out, contact us, tell us what you'd find helpful, and we can get it through to the development team for review. If a property has been allocated and the property manager wants to pull a report regarding issue reported resolved, can they do so against their name, or will it be a company report? So Teresa, that's a really good question. With regards to reports, if I click here and I type in, for example here, agent, there are reports per agent that you can see. So for example, we've got here issues closed per agent, and also issues by status per agent, and issues by age per agent, as well as issues progressed per agent as well. These might be helpful for you in order to see kind of, so for example, if I go into issues closed per agent, you'll be able to see here. Okay, bear with me 1 second, not sure what's happening with that. So here, for example, I can see all of my agents listed, and I can see all of the statuses across here and who's got what at which status. So do kind of go to reports, type in the word agent, and see if there's something there that would work for you. I'm sure you'll be able to find something there, Teresa. And if, again, that hasn't been fully covered, just reply on the Q&A. The final question, where can I access the guidance videos from Fixflo? When you say guidance videos, do you mean our video library? You can access that. So if you click here on need help, you can, of course, search for certain videos within our help site itself. So you can access this by clicking on help.fixflo.com on your browser. We have got a video library here. Now, admittedly, this needs a little bit of tidying up by myself. I've made the majority of these videos. I do need to tidy them up because at the moment they're just kind of 19 of them are just here. These are kind of the shorter videos, and these are the webinar videos. So the webinars are these kind of recordings or webinars that I do. So these are on kind of bigger features, things like planned maintenance, content edit, like I've just done, contractor certification. And these are kind of the shorter, snappier videos, which you can view as well. So we do have our video library here. Please let me know if I haven't quite answered that question, and I'll help you. With regards to the videos that you can use in your guidance and advice pop-ups, if you go to help.fixflo.com and type in like video to use, you'll be able to find this here. And I will actually link this guidance guide out to you guys all by the end of play today as well, because I think you might find that helpful. Another question is coming from Douglas. If a job has been passed to a tradesperson, can you add another issue that has come through from a tenant for the same property, but it's a new issue? Are you asking about merging issues here, Douglas, as in an occupier's reported a maintenance issue, it's at the same property, you want to merge it with the issue that's already been passed on to a contractor? Yes, you are. Okay. Merging issues. Oh, that would be the dream. Unfortunately, it's not currently possible on Fixflo. Each and every issue is an issue in its own right. I believe it's something the development team are possibly looking into. I know that the team I'm in would love it, but I don't quite know the answer on that. I know it's something that there's a lot of talk about this, but I'm not quite sure it's possible at the moment. You can always use the comments tab. So if I go back to my system here and I go to an issue which is with a contractor, I don't know. Okay, this is a gas safety certificate, so this is planned maintenance, but I could always click here on comments where I could then send a message to the contractor here, and I could say, FYI, this other thing has come up. You can also link issues together as well. So if I go to the related tab as well on an issue, and I go to linked issues, I can always add a related issue, but then the contractor won't be able to see that as a related issue. This is just for the agent kind of visibility, if you like, but you can always use the comments tab. I hope that answers your question, Douglas. I'm sorry it's not currently available. Are there any language translation options for tenants reporting? We have a lot of Eastern European tenants. Yes, there are. So when I'm on the occupier side here, so if I log out and I go in as the occupier, you can see that there is, in fact, a language tool, and it sits in the top left-hand corner of Fixflo. You can choose your top 3 languages here. So depending on your occupier base, if yours are Eastern European, you could definitely amend these. And if they click on English UK, they can see all of the languages appear here as well. If they were to say, for example, choose Spanish, the entire system would then pull into Spanish for them. They can report the maintenance issue in Spanish, and everything will be translated back into English for you. So that can be a really good thing. Just to show you very quickly how to amend the languages, which sit up here. You will need administrator rights for this, Hayley. But if I log in and I click on setup and settings, there's a preferred languages section here where you can amend those top 3 languages. So you can have a look through this. If anything's missing from here, do also let us know. But hopefully there are over 40 here. So hopefully they are covered, and let your occupiers know about it. There is also a video you can send to your occupiers, which is from the occupier point of view of how they can report issues. And we do tell them about the language tool in that as well. Check out our video. So to find that, it is a video, but I believe it is in ongoing promotion within our help site here. And it's in, I believe, promoting to occupiers. And I think it's on the 2nd page. There's an occupier reporting video. So this is what you can link out to occupiers. Like I say, it's from the occupier point of view, and it will tell them all about the languages as well. And like I say, it translates back into English for you. That is where the translation stops. We don't have translation for things like the comments tab or anything like that. It is literally just at the reporting side. But I hope that's been helpful, Hayley. Do you have a list of YouTube videos you can use? Matthew, of course we do. Yes. So I will be sending them out to you. Of course, you can just go through YouTube as well and find additional videos, but I will be linking out to you a guide where we have like a list of different videos which we think would be helpful. Just do remember, if somebody, the owner of that video, takes that down, then unfortunately that will no longer display, because then that embed code is no longer working. So it's one thing to bear in mind. If you want to be really smart about it, you can create your own videos, but I do understand, obviously, then you need time and things like that. But yes, I will link that out to you all by the end of play along with this recording. In the search bar, if I search in a property, it used to show the issues in order of being reported. Now it comes up with all of the details on tenants, landlords, etc. Is there a way of filtering this by property issues in order again? So I think you're referring to our search bar, which sits up here in the top right-hand corner of the agent side of Fixflo. Now, this has been improved, and it's more of a global search now. So you are allowed here to search, you're not allowed, but you can now, search for issues, places, or people. Now, the reason we improved on this was because it was really, really hit and miss before, and we would only really recommend if you had the actual IS number to hand, then search there. If not, kind of use your left-hand menu sidebar to search for properties or to search for issues. So we've really updated this now, so it's more global and you can search for anything. Before you search, there is a little arrow on the right-hand side here, which is kind of a classic drop-down, which we have with most of our searches, allowing you to really narrow down what it is you're looking for. If I click here, you could, for example, decide that you only want to view properties, issues, occupiers, etc. So you can narrow down before you search. When you, for example, if I search Fixflo, what I can do is I can narrow this search down afterwards. So I might just want to look at issues here. And you're saying they are no longer appear in order. Mine are appearing here in order. I know before people have had issues where the lists don't quite appear in order. And I think sometimes they then have to clear their cookies. So I would look into that, perhaps get your IT team involved. If you're using Google Chrome, you should be able to do that using the 3 dots on your on the top right-hand corner of your browser. I think it's more tools, and then it's clear browsing data. If you go through there, you should be able to amend your cookie or clear your cookies even. But this global search bar should be in order. There's no sort button as such. Have another look at it, and please, again, just reach out by need help and click on contact us. Myself or anyone in the team can help you and see if we can get that resolved for you. All right. Excellent. Well, it's been great to answer so many questions. I really hope you found today's webinar helpful. Thank you so much again for joining me today. Any more questions, I'll stay online for a couple more minutes. If not, have a wonderful day. It's nearly Friday, and have a lovely weekend. And please, guys, I hope you're keeping safe. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Bye-bye.